how much does it cost to sell on Amazon? If you're a new seller, what does it cost to get in on, get your Amazon business going? So that's a really good question that I haven't really spoken a lot about, because there's so many variables that factor into that. I'll talk about two variables, just two. Either you have money or you don't have money. You have money or you don't have a lot of money. If you have no money, there's obviously no chance that you're going to start. You should wait until you have some money. But we'll talk about the people who have a certain amount of equity to play with. And, they're looking at selling on Amazon. They're looking at Amazon FBA. I get questions all the time. And it's commonly, that's the most common situation people are in, is they do have equity. They do want to start a business for themselves, but they want a checklist of what the costs potentially are. And then I'll do another version of, the cost on Amazon for maybe somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, maybe wants to make a small amount of money on the side, produce a little extra income, and how they can get started for relatively next to nothing in cost. So first we'll talk about that seller who has some money. So if you have some cash flow and you're looking to sell on Amazon, let's talk about the things that are standardized that you're going to have to pay. The first thing is there's a monthly fee to be a seller, and that monthly fee is $39.99 a month. And what that is it's a fee that allows you to be classified as a professional Amazon seller. Not that you're a professional yet, but that you want, like a franchise fee. You want to start your Amazon business and you want to have access to all of the tools that Amazon will give you. Okay. If that's the case, that you're going to have to pay that first fee, which is $39.99 per month. Okay. What that fee is going to give you is going to give you unlimited product sales. So you're going to be allowed to sell as many products as you wish. Okay. Versus if you were to do it the other way, which would be free, you pay every time you sell. You pay $1 or 99 cents every time you sell a product. Which means that, if you're an individual or more of like a hobby seller, or you just want to, not professional, just a personal account, then it's that's for somebody who really is just selling things around their home, or just, a few things a month, but they're not really looking to sell a ton of stuff a month. Okay. So the pro seller who has some money, they got this fee, so they're going to want to say, let's just break it down to to the cost per year. So the fee would be the first one, the pro selling account fee. The second fee that you'll want to invest in is if you're going to do private label selling, if you're going to sell products and you're going to source that inventory from China or from over, could be in Canada or US or whatever, but you're going to brand it, and then you're going to launch it. It's a new product under a category that you are interested in selling in. There is going to be a cost to acquire inventory, and that's going to be your largest chunk of money that you'll want to have available to you. Okay. And we'll talk in terms of, I'm going to talk in terms of what I recommend people doing now versus when I started. When I started, it was usually just like we talked about, finding that one great product and then buying upwards 500 units of inventory. And then, sourcing that, paying for the shipping costs to get that stuff to your fulfillment center. So for me, my very first product, all said and done, with shipping, the cost of the product, the cost of, packaging, because I wanted better packaging, The cost, there was no real other added costs. Those three costs were essentially the main costs. I ended up ordering 1,000 units instead of 500. At 1,000 units, at about just under $5 a unit, so we'll say $5 a unit was $5,000 investment of capital. So I put up $5,000 on my very first order. Not that you need to do that, and we're actually going to talk about that right now. Is I'd recommend, instead of just doing a single product, I recommend doing a multi-product launch. A lot of people fail selling on Amazon because they launch one product and it just doesn't pan out. And then they have a lot of money tied up in that one product and they just can't get rid of it. They're selling 1 or 2 units a day and they're just not doing good enough. And it's taken them 500 days to get rid of all of their inventory, which is close to a couple years. It's just, by then they're completely frustrated and have lost an interest in selling on Amazon. And that's what you're going to find if you're just sourcing one product. You're risking the chance of it not sticking, it not gaining market traction, and it not gaining any ground, and start to see the benefits of how many units can be sold in a single day. So now what we talk a lot about is launching 3 to 4 products at a lower inventory rate. Okay, and I won't go into that in too much detail, but I would just recommend that you probably should look to launch at least 2 to 4 products in your very first launch. But don't go for 1,000. Don't even go for 500. Stick anywhere from 50 units, 50 to 300 units, in around that range, just depending on what the cost of the actual product is. If the cost of the product is $15 a unit, you'll probably want to just buy 50 units. If the cost of the product is $2 a unit, then you can certainly afford to buy 300 of them for $600 and have no problem. You're still way under the budget as far as your equity, your investment is. And then it makes sense to launch more than just one product. And it also ties in a lot of other stuff when you start to strategize from the very get-go to launching at least 2 minimum, not 1, but 2 to 4 products minimum. So I would still say, if you have capital and you have money to spend, and I mean, obviously this is a lot cheaper than starting a franchise like the McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Tim Hortons or a Starbucks, way cheaper. So $5,000 capital is plenty. Even if you were to do, say, 3 products at $2 a product at 300 units, is $600 times 3 is $1,800. So on a minimum side, you can still find those products. There's lots of those products out there in the market that you can sell on the market for between the $10 price point and the $14 price point that maybe cost you $2 all said and done to get your product, packaged and shipped to Amazon Fulfillment Center, and the cost of shipping all in there. You can certainly find products like that per unit where it works out to $2. So $1,800 to $5,000 in around that budget should be enough money for you to source multiple products and start your Amazon business. Now, if you are doing private label, how are you going to come up with those products? Well, you can stay until the end of this video and watch the 30 products that we're about to drop, or I'm about to drop, or you can buy tools for that. I would recommend buying the tools for that. I bought a tool that helped me with product research. Okay, and the tool I bought and the tool I recommend to everybody is called Jungle Scout. I'll throw a link in the description in the description part below. Jungle Scout has 2 tools that you can use. The first one is called the web app. And what the web app does is it allows you to set parameters. You can set certain price ranges that you want to see products on Amazon that fit that price point. There's a reason for that. You can set up certain amount of competition or reviews that each product have. The less reviews, what that means is that there's a greater chance of your product being seen on page 1 Whereas if page one is filled with products that have thousands of reviews, that's how a product becomes, or that's how a product transitions from the back end of Amazon's website, where people are shopping, on page 10 to page 2 or page 1, is that people are buying the products. They somehow found them, they bought them, they liked it, and they left a great review, which tells Amazon the product was good, and it starts to move up the ranking and ultimately ends on page 1, which is essentially Amazon rank every product with a number, 1 being first place, and all the way to, could be as high as a millionth place, or not even ranked at all, which means it's not even being bought. Okay, so they use that. Jungle Scout has a tool that will actually filter every kind of detail that you want your product to see products about. And then it will display hundreds and thousands of products for you to choose from that you want to sell the same product of, because it's doing well, it's selling a lot, it's making a lot of money. There's a lot of profit, and there's no competition, or there's a little bit of competition, or it's just a new niche. There's so much that you can find. There's niche tools and all that type of stuff with Jungle Scout's web app. So the web app, I want to say, Jungle Scout's changed their price, and I've not looked at it since, but I pay $50 a month for the web app, so I'm just going to quote $50 a month. If it's gone up or down, then it's gone up or down. You can subscribe for an entire year and pay a little bit less. I think you can get a little bit of a discount when you buy a year all out, or you can just pay month to month and cancel at any time. If you've done your product research and you found your 4 products that you want to sell, then you can cancel that and have paid maybe 3 months worth, so $150, and move on. The second Jungle Scout tool that is important to have is a metric tool called the Jungle Scout Chrome extension tool, and it's a little tool that you download onto your computer, and anytime you're on Amazon, you now have this fancy tool where you can see what all the sellers, it'll essentially give a drop-down menu, and it'll show you everything, every seller on the page that you're looking at, how much they're selling the product for, how much the back-end fees or the behind-the-scene fees that Amazon charge are, how much profit is left, gross profit is left on there. You can do the math and minus your net cost and come up with the net profit. It has all the reviews. It's all in one place to see all the metrics and essentially evaluate every product that you're researching, to come up with a strategy to tell you if this product is a base hit, home run, a grand slam, or if it's a strikeout and you got to run the other way. So it's called the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, and it's a one-time fee. I want to say that Jungle Scout was talking about combining them or doing something. So again, go check it out. I'll throw the link below. And the link that I'm going to attach will actually, if you do end up buying the product or buying both products, it'll give you a discount. Greg Mercer, he's the CEO of Jungle Scout, and any affiliate or any seller of the product, which I'm an affiliate of the product, he's given them a link, which it'll give you a 20% discount. I believe it's 20%, but it'll give you actually a percentage discount on the product to new purchasers of the product. So go check that out. But I think the Chrome extension is like $100 for that option. Might be more, it might be less, but it's right around that price point. So let's say you spent $500 for the year and you bought the web app, and then you spent the $100, so you're at $600 for the tools. You're at, let's just say you're on the higher, you're right in the middle. Let's say you're right in the middle. So between 2,000 and 5,000. So let's just say you're at $3,500 for that. And then let's say you do a year's worth, you paid let's budget Amazon for a year. So at $40 a month, it's $480. So $500 plus 3,500. So you're at 4,500 plus 100, 4,600. So right around the $5,000 mark really is going to essentially allow you to have your products in place and ready to be sold. And again, once those products arrive and you've optimized your product, your pictures, your title, your listing title, your bullet points, the description, the back end, you put keywords so that people can find that product. You've done as much things that you can do as far as just relative information. Your product will start to get seen. Then, so you're already at $4,600. Then you're going to want to start to double the amount of sales that you have or triple the amount of sales that you have. And how you're going to do that is you're going to advertise. So we call this secondary stuff. It's not required right away. You don't need that at all to get your products going. It's not something that you need to start your business with. But eventually you're going to want to go, how can I double my sales or how can I triple my sales? Okay, and that's going to be using the advertising tools that Amazon gives you on their platform. And those are the strongest, most powerful tools that you can use. For every dollar you spend, you might make a sale. So if you have $10 profit, for every dollar you spend, you're going to make $9 kind of thing. Or every $2 you spend, you're going to make $8, that ratio. Even if you spend $5 and Amazon keeps the $5 that you're spending to them, you're paying them, and you get to keep $5. Keep in mind, you have your core amount of sales that you're making. Now you're trying to double that number. So these are free sales because you're using a tool. You're using leverage. So that's what PPC is all about. Okay, so a pay-per-click, PPC pay-per-click, Amazon PPC, is you pay when someone clicks the ad, anywhere from a penny to $5, depending on how popular that product is and how profitable it will be for you. And then you can use other sites like Facebook, Google, Instagram to triple your sales, quadruple your sales, and 5x your sales by starting to leverage other platforms to drive traffic to your niche. And you can use funnels, and there's a lot more that you can do that will blow your mind if you just started to apply these strategies to your Amazon selling business. But it's not complicated right now. If you're making $3,000 a month, I'm sure you're going to be happy with the extra $3,000 you're making a month. And if you're able to leverage that with Facebook or with an Instagram ad or with a Google ad, obviously we know that more people search things on Google. Google owns 50% of the internet, and Facebook owns the other 50% of the internet. We obviously know you got to utilize both. If you're capturing sales from Amazon and it's doubled your sales, now you realize, well, Amazon doesn't own the internet. People aren't searching the World Wide Web via the Amazon site. So then you jump on Google and you can search 50% of the population that's on the internet, or you can advertise to 50% of the population that's on the internet as an analogy. And then you jump on Facebook and you can advertise the other 50%. You're going to experience a massive increase in sales by using those two platforms. So advertising, that's, again, those are budgets that, you could spend $100 a day, $10 a day, $5 a day. You could spend, I know a seller who spent $500,000 on advertising to make a few million. Okay. And I see him all the time, and I watch all of his stuff all the time, and I'm paying attention to what he does, and he gives the best advice. Again, one of the biggest sellers, 8-figure sellers out there on the Amazon market in the private label business. Okay, so he's put that advice out there, and it's important. It works really well. So now let's just say that's your budget per year. Let's just put it at, it could be as high as 10,000. I don't want to put that there, but anything you put in, you're going to get so much back out. But let's just, whatever that number is for you, I'll let you put it in there. So let's just say if you put in 1,000, you'll get 5 times your value back, your profit back. It might, let's just say you double your money. So if you put in 1,000, you'll get $2,000 back. So if you put in 10,000, you're gonna make $20,000 in profit. Okay, we'll use that. So, but I won't pick a number for you. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be about $5 grand to start your business if you have money.